automations, which most of it's pretty well working.
Right. We're now live, I believe. So we're streaming live, I believe. So yeah, I think, yeah, it is. It's live on Facebook. So welcome, Sherri. It's lovely to have you here. I was just saying, we haven't really caught up. Both of us are doing and have found ourselves not busy in the doing, but continually doing. So it's great to catch you and get you for a little while into the group just to have a conversation around happy spending, because I love to spend, Sherri. Is that what happy spending's about, or is it maybe a little bit more than that? I think it's a bit more than that, isn't it? Could you explain to the ladies that are in this group what happy spending is about?
So I am a happy spender, and my definition of a happy spender is I happily spend with no regrets and guilt-free. So I'm a happy spender because I plan my spending, I save for it, and then I happily spend. So where unfortunately a lot of people spend, go home, figure out where am I going to get that money from, or they put it on credit or debt. And yes, and then that in a way plans their future of debt. You know, so it's the opposite way. So yeah, I do it what I call the right way around, the true way, the way that will always work. And yeah, so that's why I am a happy spender, and I love helping other people become a happy spender too.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about Sherri. You have got a bit of an accent there, so tell us a little bit about that, family, you know, all of that, and what brought you to this point, because I know there's a story there and a reason why, but the people that are watching probably don't really know that story. So if you could just share a little bit about that.
So I was born in Las Vegas. I was my parents' jackpot, and I keep reminding them of that.
Fashion child.
Yes, because I was the middle child, the middle of 5. So you can't, that one we know. Anyone who's a middle child knows you kind of get forgotten. So I keep reminding them I was their jackpot. And then I went to England when I was 21 to do some missionary service. And I met my husband, who was Aussie. And after I finished, and then I flew to Australia to meet up with him, and we dated, and we decided to get married and stay in Australia. So I've been in Brisbane for 32 years, and we have 5 children. My youngest is almost 20, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 27 years. So we made a choice and that's what I wanted. I wanted a large family, and I wanted to be home with my children. So I did. In amongst that, I had to I had to learn to be good with money, because I wasn't always good with money. When I was single, I lived paycheck to paycheck. And yeah. And so when I got married, things had to change, which they did. And yeah, and I wanted to be able to go home and visit my family on a regular basis, which means that we had to have a good savings plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we did that for the first 15 years. I can say that most of it was not was paid in cash, but there was a lot that wasn't. I would come home and, you know, because when I would go over there, I would go shopping. That's the only time I went shopping, was when I went home. My mother used to say, Sherri, do you ever, it's like you just shop. And I said, but I don't like shopping, especially at home when it's so much more expensive. Yeah. So then we were going to go over as a family, and we saved the money, and we went as a family. And at that point, I was still doing a budget, and I thought, you know, there has to be a better way. This budgeting stuff, it's not totally, you know, it's focusing a lot on the past, where I spent my money, and I was an avid keeper of where I spent my money and where I'm going to spend it this week or this paycheck. But it didn't really help me in the long run. And that's what I needed, because I needed lots of time to save for these trips overseas. So I went into search after we got back from our wonderful month into the States as our family of 7. I searched and I found the spending plan. And it dramatically changed our financial life because it's about the future spending, not your past. The past is the past. And so we started that. Within a few years, we paid off our mortgage. And because it actually projects your future cash flow, your future bank statements, your future bank balances. So you can know 100% that you can cover all your expenses and also accommodate and plan for those unexpected things, which we know happens, especially with 2020 and 2021 and probably into 2022. So I was able to get lots of good reserve as well as have a plan for my future trips. And so we actually went just before COVID, 2019, all my 5 children, and there was a few grandchildren in there as well. 4 of them, we all went to the States as a family because they all had spending plans and all cash free, came home with money because we could forward project that it could happen. Yep. And so now I just am passionate about teaching other people that you don't have to have anxiety or stress around money, and it has nothing to do with income. It has everything to do with time, the timing of your income and expenses, but also, yes, it does, as we learned in 2020, it has a lot to do with your expenses. You know, all those little things that you might have, like those little afterpays and those little things that you think, oh, they're only a few dollars a week, they can really add up. And so I teach people money truth, and that you have to know your money truth, which the plan shows you. And then you have to follow it. You have to be honest with yourself and follow it. And so, it really helps. It really dramatically changes people's life. It reignites their dreams because they can see they can achieve them now. With the plan, you can achieve anything in any part of your life. And I love planning lots of things. You know, with a large family, we have to plan family get-togethers. So that's what I do now is I just literally hold people's hand and help them create a plan, help them teach them the stuff they weren't taught in school, and so that they can become financially dependent to me and anybody else so that they can then have a great financial life and achieve their dreams. So
freedom, isn't it really? Like
choices.
Such freedom and so many choices. I have to get my kids to have a chat with you, I think. Chat with you. A couple of my sons just getting a big loan for a family business, and I just think, he works in the coal mine, so he's earning, you know, a really great wage. And like you said, it's not about the wage, it's about how you spend it. And I think probably he could use some of those tips that you have got there. I know you've got lots of them. So if someone wants to get in touch, or do you have programs? So, you know, do you have a program that people can purchase or that you can share with them? Like, how do they connect with you, Sherri?
Yeah, well, one, you can go to my Facebook group, which is called Happy Spenders Beyond Budgeting, because we do go beyond budgeting, because again, budgeting is income and expenses only. We add in timing of your income and expenses, and that makes all the difference. So it's Happy Spenders Beyond Budgeting. And then I offer services. When I first started out 4 years ago, now I've been using this system for 19 years, since 2003. And then 4 years ago, there was an opportunity to become a certified spending planner, because it's different from everything else. We don't just throw you a book, or I do have an online course, but we actually help you through the process so you're not doing it alone. Because usually people who have struggled with money, or even are good with money, it's always nice to have someone there. So for the last 4 years, I've done one-on-ones with people. They're usually a 6-month program. And then when COVID hit, a lot of people had time, but not a lot of money.
Yeah.
So then I created, for those who, you know, were proactive, an 8-week course. And so that we would get them through the program and get their plan created. I would have them live their plan. And so I've been doing that, but because of kind of the demand and also my voice, you know, when I'm doing one-on-ones all day long, I can by the end, you know, and so now I'm actually launching and doing an 8-week group session. And so that's, so that's going to be 8 weeks. We do it in a group, but there are also some one-on-ones within there because it is a personal, a personal plan. And also I will do some reviews and things of your plan. And so that's exciting. I'm doing that and starting that in October. I think it's October 6th. Beautiful. And so that's very affordable. That one is $497. But for the first 10 people, I'm doing a special for $297. So that includes 8 to 10, about 10 to 12 hours working in a group, or you get about an hour individually, two 30-minute sessions. So yeah, I just am so passionate about helping people because I know there's so many people in financial stress and they don't need to be. And it's the budget is half the problem. And so the budgeting, the way that works, where a spending plan tells you your truth and gives you hope, gives you financial hope.
I think I might tell my daughter about this, my son and daughter actually. So the group ones that you do, are they at night or during the day?
I'm going to probably do a day and a night one just because I know that, you know, so I think it's a Tuesday. I'll do one at noontime. So even if they are at work and they can take a lunch break, they can do it during their lunch break. And then I'll do the same repeat at night.
Beautiful.
But they will be recorded. So if you can't even meet any of those, you'll still have that recording. You still get your 2 30-minute one-on-ones with me, plus my, you know, regular reviews of your plan, which I then just screen record me looking at your plan and giving you tips on how you can improve it. So it's great value. And it's a great way to do it in a group setting, which there's benefits on that as well. You know, one, you won't feel alone, that, you know, that you might struggle with your finances, but you'll also be able to support each other as well.
Yeah, and the group setting, you know, some people think that they're not getting, you actually get more from a group setting because the energy and the support from others is what helps influence how you feel about where you're at too. And it kind of reinforces that you're not alone when when you're in this circumstance. You're not by yourself because many others are experiencing the same thing. And that's what I've found with many groups coaching is that you'll say something and the other person, I was thinking that, I just didn't want to ask it. So it's yeah.
And it's even good for repetition because I teach repetitiously, you know, because it is a new concept because budgeting is kind of about the past. The analogy I give with that is when you're driving a car and you're going to say the mountains are in front of you and you're going to go skiing, you look out the front windscreen to get to the mountains. That specifies the spending plan. It's forward. You have to look forward at your goal. Then you have a rear view mirror. And by looking back, if you were to look back in your rear view mirror the whole time, one, you're going to crash at the first corner and you're not going to get to where you're going to go. And I specify that as the budget. Now, there is a purpose for looking at the past, but just a quick glance like we do in our rearview mirror. Look back and say, okay, I could do better because I've never heard anyone say, I should have spent more money last month or last year. So there is a purpose for the quick look at what you've, and to monitor it, which we do in the plan, but it's all about, let's look to the future. Let's keep your eye on your goal and you will get there.
Yeah. And that's interesting because we can only affect the present, really, can't we? We can't look at the past. The past is history, it's happened. We can't affect, like it can't affect us now. we can get some tips from it. You know, maybe we do things differently, but it's interesting that you're forward projecting. I love that you're forward projecting. So
a lot of businesses kind of, that's natural what they do, which I have clients who have businesses and they love the spending plan for their business as well. But for our personal, it's so important too. I mean, that's where the foundation of our financial piece comes from, is our personal finances. And we need to get those in order first before we do any investing or anything else, which unfortunately we weren't taught at school. And consumerism just tells us buy, 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 you deserve it, do it now, don't, you know, and all this stuff, which
that comes with it. Yeah.
That's what I teach people. I do not lie to them. I tell them the truth. And yeah, the truth will set you free financially.
Very, very true. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just now look at 5 years' time with Sherri and your happy spenders. What do you see for the future, like with yourself and hubby and your business? What is projected for 5 years' time for you?
Well, for me, it's funny because my husband asked, he has 10 years before he retires. And of course, he would love to retire today. And he does have a chronic disease, diabetes, which, as they say, is a silent killer. And so that's one reason that I actually went, well, I wanted to go back to work because I haven't worked for 27 years, but one, just to give back to the village that helped me raise my kids. And I had lots of skills that I could help them in this area. And so for me is number one is, you know, who knows? I never know what's going to happen in 5 years. None of us know what's going to happen with our spouse, and he's the main breadwinner. And so I had to become financially self-reliant and have some type of income in case of that. And so, but also on the thing is he said, oh, Sherri, I'd just love to, you know, retire today. And that's the thing is I want him to retire sooner than 10 years.
Yes, yeah.
And so, and my business is growing, and because, you know, there's so many people I can help from anywhere from, I have 17-year-old year 12 students who want to be better with their money and get so excited now that they can pay for their own schoolies and their own thing. And, you know, just, they feel more of an adult because they are good with money.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
yeah.
and a lot of times, you know, some of them, you know, they're teaching their parents. Yeah. And up even to just all ages, even retirees, you know, people on the pension, we all have money and we need to all do it. And so for me, it's just to help more people. I've helped hundreds already, but I want to be in the thousands in 5 years. And again, continue in this group setting to help people. And then I'm hoping in 5 years, I can do some more public in face-to-face speaking because I miss that. I miss being face-to-face with people and being on a stage and that. So yeah, that's where I see myself. I see myself just of helping a lot more people. And for what I do, a certified spending planner, for it to be a lot more known, because it is a very new industry in the finance industry. I mean, all of you have heard of a financial planner. That's where you go when you have excess money, which most people never get to one. Then there's, on the other end, there's the financial counselor, which sadly some people get to because they have too much debt and they may have to go bankrupt and that. But then I feel that whole void in the center, which is for most people, you know, you may live paycheck to paycheck, may have savings, may have a little or whatever, but at least, you know, we're not the extreme. And that's where my industry comes in. And so, yeah, in 5 years, I want spending planners to have a better name and just to be known. Yeah.
And there are other spending planners out there, but you are a minority really, because you're really the only one that I know of. I don't know of any others. I come from a banking background and it was always the financial planners and the budget you know, what's your budget, what's not what's your projected, but what's your budget financially, you know, and going backwards, always going backwards on what you've your history and what you've spent things on. So it's very
Right. I mean, there were many times in my business where I just thought, oh, you know, because people have this thing about finances. One, they have shame and embarrassment associated with finances, which I'm totally non-judgmental about, and it's the past. So when we start, we're starting with today and we're moving forward. And of course, along the track, you'll still have some bad choices, and that's okay, because once they're done, it's in the past and we move on and we just be better. And so that's one. And then the other thing is money. It's like, you mean you're going to want me to pay you money to learn about money? Because all of us have this, I think, unconscious thing, which is so valid, that we were not taught in school.
no.
We were in school for 12 years and was not taught the basis of money and how to manage it. And so now you have to pay someone. But let me just put it out there. As you can see, I'm very for it. I do this not because I have to work. I don't have to feed my family. I do it because I'm just so passionate to help others eliminate money stress and have money success. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I love it, Sherri. Yes, I'm going to get my kids onto you. I said that a while ago, but things.
Yeah, well, and this is a great opportunity. You know, with this 8-week program, it will finish the end of, we'll go October, November, you know, and then I actually have another one starting in November, which will finish just, you know, mid-December. So that, not that we redo our spending plan every year, it's a live plan. It's always, you're always seeing in advance, 12 months in advance, but it's just a great way to start 2022 being honest with yourself, being honest with your spouse, your children, your partner, everyone. And finally, because it's through honesty that you're going to have financial peace and be liberated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, my lovely. That was amazing. I love that. I love how it's not about the past, it's about the future, and it's making those choices now for the future. So yeah, I love that. I love, it's really, really powerful. And as you were saying, our money is something that we're never taught to expect to pay for things, for services. We're never taught that, you know, if we want something in life, we're going to have to probably pay for it. We're not taught that in anything in the school curriculum. There's nothing about it. And so when we get out of school and then we go to work, it's like, you got to pay for this, you pay for that. And it's like, it's just this whole new concept, you know. And yeah, it's really interesting that you mentioned that. I've never thought of it really, but I can see my granddaughters coming out of school now, and I just think, wow, they've had all of that education, but they've no idea. It's just, they go to the dad tree and pick some money off it, and, you know, off we go. There we go. I'm right now. And then they get a boyfriend and pick some money off the money tree, you know, so it doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, I've done workshops with youth ages 12 to 18. And I have this really, it's the jelly bean game. And I actually have them teach them, because I teach effective bank structure, because our banks don't teach us. They give us bank accounts that make us muck up our money. And so I teach you how to effectively set up your bank accounts. But then I take the kids through scenarios, and even the adults in the room learn a lot. You know, we have a 20 jelly bean wage. And then of course things happen, and depending on what they budgeted on their paper, whether that was a good choice or a bad choice. And so it really teaches them through a practical way, with not with real money, because you want to practice them with not with real money, how they can do it. And the other day I just ordered a little game that I'm going to be able to do. It's from 5 years on, because I have all my granddaughters living with me. So it's so important. That's what I am passionate about, teaching parents, for teaching adults, and then teach your children. Oh my gosh, you have to teach your children, because otherwise they're going to come to you and ask for money. And a lot of parents sadly give money to their kids when they don't, because we don't deserve it unless we've saved for it.
That's exactly right.
So we have to save, and then we can spend and be a happy spender.
Yeah. And it's it's almost like that privilege, you know, just go to mum and dad and we'll receive it.
Empower your kids, empower, like this 17-year-old, she's so empowered.
Beautiful.
About, and anytime her parent does buy her anything little, she's so grateful. So if you want grateful kids, empower them with financial literacy and a spending plan.
All right, my lovely. Have a great weekend. It's been wonderful. If anyone would like to have a chat with you, we'll get you to put a link in the chat. And I really, really am grateful for bringing this knowledge to the group. If anyone's just on the fence of thinking about doing this group session, Sherri has got amazing skills when it comes to creating a spending plan. So yeah, go hook in and see her. So thanks everyone. Thanks Sherri. Bye for now. We'll see you next week when we have another member spotlight. So see you then.